guys, how's it going? It's Flat Earth Sage. Here to do another video. I was driving around doing my deliveries when I thought of something. I thought of, even if we were to believe even if I was to believe what NASA says, the question popped up in my head: what good has NASA done for humanity? What has NASA done, or better yet, what have they done for this world? And I started backtracking to all the stuff I learned about when I was still indoctrinated, and I was like, And then I remembered one of the things that supposedly NASA claims is that they're growing crops in the ISS in space. But at the time, I wasn't into gardening. I wasn't into plants. I didn't have a love for plants or anything like I do now. And so I never questioned it. They're like, oh, okay, they're growing potatoes in space or something, you know. I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool, you know. Back when I was indoctrinated. But now that I see things with a better set of eyes, and now that I've learned a little bit more about plants, it's just, wow, you just know they're bullshitting. And there's no way, I don't believe that there's any way that they could convince gardeners or farmers at all that they were growing stuff in the vacuum of space. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. For example, for me, you know, the only thing they could possibly have is artificial lighting. The only problem with, you know, I use artificial lighting, but the only problem with artificial lighting is that it's going to take a lot longer for plants to grow. And sometimes, you know, there's just plants that just prefer the actual sun that will not do well in artificial light. Like there's a lot of things to go in with it, and no matter how I try to picture it, like, the likelihood of them doing that is slim to none. Even if the ISS was real and there was people on it and they were using artificial lights, excuse me, it would be very, very, very difficult. Also, another thing too is plants need a cross ventilation. Plants do better when there's a steady supply of fresh air. For example, for my plants growing on my windowsill, I always have my window cracked just so they can get that constant inflow of air. Otherwise, if I don't, there is going to be high probability of mold growing in the soil, which for a gardener is fucking terrifying. So if they were, you know, if they were to be growing stuff like that in space, I can almost guarantee that they're going to have problems with mold. If they were in space. Of course, we all know that they're not up there in space and they're not in the ISS. I'm just thinking of if it was real, if the story checked out and it was real, they would be having the hardest time. And the way they presented the story was, hey, we're growing, you know, blah, blah, blah. I think at this point they pretty much said everything. We're growing tomatoes in space. We're growing potatoes. You know, we're growing whatever else. And the fact that they didn't have any problems with their plants at all is a red flag. Even the very best gardeners in the world have had things go wrong on their journey. You know, I'm still relatively new to gardening and stuff, but even I've had my own issues to deal with. I've had mold and stuff, and I've had to combat, leaf drop you know, what I call leaf paralysis, which is basically when the leaves turn spotted colors and they turn yellow and stuff like that. You know, I've had issues dealing with that. And, you know, gardening and farming aside and all that stuff, what else have they done? What else have they done for humanity? Nothing really, but just bullshit. Like, even when I was indoctrinated, I still couldn't think of what good they've done for humanity. That was still a question that lingered in my mind. Like, okay, they're doing all this stuff, so what's the point of it? Why are they doing it? How is this helping humanity in any way? You know, oh, they're opening up new exploration of things. They're not doing anything. I mean, I don't understand. Like, this stuff can be easily faked with anyone with the by anyone with the right amount of money and the right manpower. They could do this. It's not hard to comprehend. And like, even when I was explaining to my dad how I didn't believe in space or I basically said the Apollo program and I didn't believe that. And my dad's retort to it was, what are you talking about? I saw that on TV. I saw that on TV. You know, alright, well, you know what? I see fucking dwarfs, hobbits, and fucking wizards and warlocks and fucking, and a giant fucking eyeball in a tower. Does that mean that shit's real because I saw it on TV? It's like I saw fucking, what's his name? I'm trying to remember that guy. What's his name? People will be really upset with me. Neo. I can't remember. Or Keanu Reeves. That's who it is. You know, I saw Keanu Reeves dodge a million bullets flying at him in slow motion. Does that mean that's real? No, of course not. The only reason you think it's real is because it was a lie that was perpetuated to be true. When you tell somebody when you present a lie and you tell enough people it's true, eventually it's gonna become true to everybody. This is just common fact, common knowledge. So yeah, just little things to think about. I don't believe in a word that NASA says anymore. I don't think anybody should. But of course, like everyone says, don't trust me. You know, research it for yourself, like I and everyone else did. They're not up there in space. There's probably something up there in space, but there's no people there. Not a chance. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that little bit of information at you guys. Anyway, hope you all are having a great day. Peace and love.